Hello everyone, and welcome to Stellaris Origin Modding Episode 3. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to add pictures and icons for your custom origin. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you're going to modify any sort of graphics for Stellaris, it needs to be a .dds file. And thus, you need some sort of program that can modify .dds files. The basic Paint program on Windows isn't going to work because it can only save a few different file types. And there are three programs off the top of my head. There's Paint.net, there's GIMP, and there's Photoshop. So if you have one of those, you can modify them. I find that Paint.net works really well for me just because it's really cheap and I understand how to use it. GIMP is really good. It gives you more options for editing, but you have to download a separate package. And Photoshop is just really expensive, so Paint.net works for me. If you have one of those other two, it'll work just the same. But what you need to do is you need to save them as .dds files and .pdn. Direct draw surface, that's what they are. And yeah, you can just save them. I already have them saved in the right file locations. So I'll show you where these need to go. So I have an icon and I have a picture. And this is what you're getting for now because I'm not going to attempt to draw my own picture. If we go into our files, and we go up to our base mod folder, the first thing we're going to deal with is the icon. And the icon is located under GFX, Interface, Icons, Origins, and you will just drop it right here. The nice thing about some Stellaris graphics is you just put it in the file and the game can connect it through code and say, like, oh, we have this origin, and here's the icon we need. And it just finds it. Hi, Future Ezra here, and I made a bit of a goof. So there are some things like that where you can just drop them in the file, but I was wrong about that. You still have to tell the game where to find the icon. And the picture process is a little more in-depth, so keep watching for that. So that is half the battle, but the other half is the picture, which is not like the icon. You can't just drop the picture in the file and go. But to start off with, we'll get to that in a second. But for starters, you can just go GFX, Event Pictures, Origins, and that should have that. And now you have both of your pictures files where they need to be. But like I said, this isn't just going to work to just drop this in the file. You actually need to define it as a sprite. So how do we do that? If we go up to the how to add origins and create a new file called interface, and then what we will do is we will open this folder in, we can probably close a lot of these actually. What we'd do is we'd go to interface, right click, and you could go new file, and we can say origin pictures.gfx. But since I already have that folder, it is not going to be needed. And that is all the setup you need. Okay, so this is pretty much all the code that we're going to need for this. And basically what a .gfx file is it's a database for any sort of graphical pictures that need to be turned into sprites. So in one mod I'm working on, I have like origins and components and stuff, and I just have them all in one big file. I think Stellaris separates them out a little bit for organization, but since we're just adding one sprite, that's not as important. So you open the whole file with sprite types, and then you open your sprite with sprite type. Keep an eye on this capitalization. The T is capitalized. Name and I have it GFX origin earth actual, and then the texture file is where the model is or is where your texture is located. So if we go back to base file, GFX, event pictures, origins, and we have origin earth actual, we can copy that and head back here, and that will be this. And then everything else should be GFX, event pictures, origins, origin earth actual, and then always transparent. Yes, I don't know why, that's just the default for origins. You may get a few errors, but everything should be working. I would say go back and make sure that everything is spelled correct. Oh, I almost forgot. We need to change our origin. So this should be origin, earth, actual. And this should also be origin, earth, actual. Okay, if you've got everything right, you should be able to launch a new game, create new, select origin, and boom. We got it. There's our little icon, and there's the graphic. And that's how you add origin pictures and icons to the game.